Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Crafty Hour number 16. It's Kourtney here with Scrapbook-N-Memories, and we are going to create 3 cards. 2 of them are kind of interactive, so we're going to have a fun shaker card, and then we're going to have a double open card, because you know I always like to do shakers and fun folds, so this is kind of my jive that I was going with. So hello everybody, and happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a great time. I hope you had a chance to see Deanna today. She was at noon Central, 10 Pacific. I always have to think on that. And so hello. And if you did not catch Deanna live, you can go back and grab her on the replay. So that is there. So you can go watch that. So let's get started. Okay, a drink of water. Hello, everybody. Okay, so card number 1. We gave you some homework to kind of grab some bits and pieces and grab your ephemeras and things. And we're just going to kind of hit the ground running, because I think doing 3 kind of interactive and shaker cards might take the full hour. So I wanted to kind of get moving. So what we're going to do is you're going to grab your card stocks and your papers, and you're going to grab, my piece is smaller than yours because I chopped mine off for my class, but you're going to grab your gold piece of cardstock, which actually yours might be smaller if you did Deanna's this morning. So grab your gold, and then you're going to grab this piece here. I love this piece. This was one of my favorites. It had the florals in the corner of it. Loved that piece. That was one of my favorites. So grab those 2 pieces, and evidently somebody wants Mom to play with her. Okay, so we are going to... Okay. I'm going to go outside. It's quiet hour. Grab those pieces. So the first piece we're going to start with is your gold piece. Your gold piece that you have. And we're going to cut that 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to cut my 5 1/4 first. And then I'm going to flip it and cut it at 4. So what it should do is you're going to have your white card base, and the gold is going to go right in the center of your card base. And you're going to see we're going to have a larger white area than what we normally do. So this is intentional. We're working with the layers. So you've got your gold piece and your white card base. Then we're going to grab that floral piece. Love that floral. Hello, everybody. See people still signing on. We're going to grab that floral. And this one is going to be cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And it's going to be going upwards. Hello, Deanna. So we're going to cut the floral. I loved this piece. I thought it was so fun. I loved all the floral bits and pieces that were in this kit, and somebody asked, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, which pieces do we need to take out? And I wanted to say all the good ones. All the good ones is what we're going to use. So I'm glad there was 2 of everything in the kit. That way Deanna and I didn't have to arm wrestle over the same ones, because I think we were both drawn to the same beautiful flowers and watercolors and things like that. So we've got the flowers. You're going to put the flowers in there, and we're going to cut it 3 7/8. 3 7/8. And then we're going to flip it, and we want to keep the flower part. So we're going to flip the flowers, and we're cutting off the top edge. It's kind of more of the sky, we're going to call it. And we're going to do it at 5 1/8. 5 1/8. Okay, so then when you want to eyeball it, what you're going to have is have just a hair of gold showing around the outside edge. And then we're going to eyeball it, and you're going to have a little bit more white. So we're working with 2 different layers. We're going to have an 1/8 of an inch layer and a 1/16 of an inch layer. So it adds a little more interest to the eye versus doing the same skinny layers on both of them. So we'll have a little bit bigger layer and a little bit small layer. Do not glue these down yet, because we're going to do the same exact thing that Deanna did to her gold cardstock. We are going to take this leafy viney die. This was my favorite die in the thing. I think I'm going to be using this for more projects. And we're going to die cut 2 of these out. So we're going to die cut one here, and then we're going to flip it and die cut one there. And when you die cut it, make sure you don't go all the way to the edge, because we are going to be using our piece of paper on there. So I'm just going to go to the die cutting machine and die cut 2 of these out really quick. And like I said, don't go all the way to the edges. Okay, one of these you can put to, well, both of them you can put to the side. And then, so you're going to end up with something that looks like this. Now, I'm going to put my layers in, and when I put my layers in, I like to use this fun new little tool that we've got, and I'm going to layer them in. So, I've got my base. We're going to take our base, and then we are going to take our smaller piece. And what I want to do is do a 1/16 of an inch all the way around it. So I'm just going to bring my base in that 1/16 of an inch. I'm going to put adhesive all over the back side of this. I'm going to butt it into the corner. And boom, we've got our perfect layer that we have our 1/16 of an inch all the way around. No more eyeballing, no more seeing if it's crooked or straight. It's on there. So our next piece we're going to put down is our card base. So we're going to take our card base, butt it in the corner, and this time I want to do an 1/8 of an inch border. So I'm going to put my 1/8 of an inch border piece in the corner. Again, add adhesive all the way to the back of this, because this is going to get glued flat also. Our shaker will kind of be our pop-up piece. We're going to drop it in with that corner shim, and you just drop it in the corner. You're going to press, and now we have our 1/8 of an inch border, and it's perfect. We don't have to eyeball it. It's perfect all the way around. You've got your 1/8 of an inch border, and then your 1/16 of an inch border on those. I will get in contact with Deanna and get her information on these tools, because Clipper Street, if you're interested, let her know. We will get these tools in for you guys. It's one of my new creations. I gave Deanna a prototype at the show to play with, and I'm not sure if she got a chance to play with it yet, but we will get you guys hooked up. Okay, so next, we're going to grab the little shaker frame. You're going to grab the blue rectangle. I'm going to grab the pink rectangle, because you know there's only one of each in there. So you grab blue, I'm grabbing pink. You're going to grab your little frame, and we're going to turn this into a shaker card. So you're going to flip it over, and we're going to put score tape, or suquang, if that's what you guys call it, on the back side of it. And then we're going to put a piece of acrylic, because that's how we make these super quick, easy shaker cards. Super easy shaker cards. Okay. Then we're going to grab some acrylic, and this is the one that I showed you guys last time, and I really, really liked it. This is the Dress My Craft acetate sheets. That's what I'm using. Use whatever acetate, whatever you have. And this is a great way to use up your scraps. Yeah, I am always crooked, so I kind of came up with this little tool thinking there's got to be a better way to do the layers, and I know Deanna loves her layers. She loves her 1/16 of an inch and her 1/8 of an inch, so I'm like, there's got to be a better way to come up with layers that are straight. So we kind of came up with this fun little tool, and we will definitely make sure that Clipper Street can get them if you guys are interested in them. We will definitely make sure to get them. So it will be exclusive for Scrapbook-N-Memories and exclusive for Clipper Street. So kind of our crafty hour people. You guys will get it exclusive to these two stores. Okay, I just cut my acetate and I just kind of eyeballed it to go on the back side of your frame. Okay, then you're going to pull off your score tape. Right, start the car, pump it up. Exclusive just for the original Crafty Hour stores. The Crafty Hour stores. Okay, put your acetate on the back and sticker on. And then now you've got that all done. And we can do a demo later and kind of explain the Crafty tool. We call it Crafter's Essential Layers. We can kind of explain that to you guys later on a separate video. Okay, so once you have that on, now we need to build up our foam. And I love the scrapbook adhesive. These are the foam strips. I know Deanna uses them a lot too. So these guys are what we're going to use because, whoops, if you peel the backing off, they stick better. We're just going to build a frame with that foam tape. Build the frame. And this is going to lift your piece so you can turn it into a shaker. And it is also going to allow the movement of your sequins once you put them in. And these strips are nice because they're perfect and skinny, and you can just kind of snip them to whatever size you want. And if you peel the backing off of them, just gonna eyeball what size we need, you can stretch them around corners and stuff, which is awesome. Oops, I made it a hair too big. I'm not very good at eyeballing tonight. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to take a powder tool, kind of powder it a little bit. So that takes the static electricity out of it. I said a little bit, and holy cow, that dumped a lot. It also takes the stickiness off of your score tape and off the side of your foam tape also. Okay, everybody doing good? Okay, then we're going to grab our sequins. I love the sequins that were in this set. They were kind of a fun holographic set. And we're going to put our sequins down and then our little frame on top. And this little frame is not very big, so it doesn't take a lot of sequins. If you put too many sequins, then they bunch up on top of each other and they won't shake. So I just kind of like to lay my little sequins down, and then I'll peel off my foam, and then I'll flip and press it down. I look like I went a little too wide. And then there's that static electricity grabbing onto that little guy. All right, and I promise that I will put this straight. On my sample, I pushed her down, and boy, she was crooked. She was crooked, so now we're going to get her in. Okay, there we go. Everybody got their shaker mechanism? All right, so now we're going to dig out our little ephemera pieces. So you're going to have a pink heart, a blue heart. I don't know if Facebook is scrolling. Okay, Facebook's scrolling comments. Let's see the other pieces we're going to use. I love the sentiments that were in here, thinking of you. They remind me of the pink fresh ones that we really like and use a lot. So grab those out. We're also going to grab this floral piece here. Loved that one. And then we need some greenery pieces. So we're going to use that one. And that one. And then also a gold heart. So those are all the little die cuts you can grab out. I thought we'll just grab them all at once. So the main piece we're going to start with, what I like to do is I always start with a main piece, my big piece, and then I always bring the rest of the stuff and cluster it and tuck it. So our main piece that we're going to do is this one right here. This I loved and thought this would make our focal point. That's going to be our focal point. So when we put it on, and anytime you're working on cards, scrapbook pages, anything for a cluster, you just put a little bit of adhesive down. Don't glue the whole thing. And you just want to glue that down. And leave room for it to tuck other items in, under, and around. So we're just kind of tucking it. So you don't want to glue the whole thing, so that way you have room to tuck and cluster. We're going to grab this guy right here, and we're going to cut him kind of in half. I just went and snipped him right there because it seemed pretty symmetrical to me to chop on those. And then I just kind of tuck this guy in and behind. And I love this foil paper. So this is from Spellbinders. It does come in a pack. I think it's 10 sheets or 8.5 by 11 in, I think it's red, green, gold, and yellow. Like each one's 10 sheets of the same color. But I loved how kind of stiff it was. And you could kind of bend it. It's like a faux metal that you could kind of bend and shape it. So I really like that aspect of it too. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back side. And then I'm just going to tuck that in. And I'm not going to put a lot of glue on it because I still want it to have that movement. But I am going to put a dot, just a dot, not a lot, kind of right there to hold that piece down. But the rest of it's still going to move. Crafty Hour 14. Which one was Crafty Hour 14? Was that Spellbinders one too? I can't remember. And then there's our next leaf. So we're going to tuck that. Okay, and then we've got another one piece here, and I'm going to kind of tuck him in under there. So again, we're just kind of tucking and building those layers, and I'm actually going to snip some of that off because it wasn't quite tucking the way I want. And then this last piece we're going to tuck under, and I'm just going to snip some more off because I don't know that I can tuck that much under it. And we're just kind of building that gold in and around that. Okay, building the gold in and around. And then I love the little hearts, so we're going to take a pink heart, just put a little bit of glue on it. I'm going to glue it kind of to the left, so kind of off center it. And then we're going to put a blue one and off center it a little bit to the right. And then the gold one, what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half. So I'm just going to take, let me see if I got my scoring tool or something, and I'm just going to kind of crease it in the center because I can't fold very straight. We're just going to kind of crease it in the center, and I'm going to fold it in half. So what it's going to do is give it a little bit of lift. And then I'm just going to put glue on that crease, right on that creasy part, and glue it to the center of the pink heart. And then it gives it a little bit of lift. Kind of gives your a different layer. Not fun? Okay, and then last thing we're going to do is add the thinking of you. Thinking of you, and we're just going to put pop dots on the back side of that. Let me find some foam tape. Actually, I'll just put pop dots because that's faster. And I don't think the TH is going to be, I could put some at the top there. And then we're just going to pop that on top. Thinking of you. I love all these sentiments. I think Pink Fresh needs to start mixing prints with their foils like they have right now because we love them so much. And that's card number 1. Ooh, I feel like I need a boogie to get the other ones done. The last card, since we've already done a shaker, I can show you the main part of the card and you guys can do the shaker on your own because it'll be the same idea we've already done. Okay, how's everybody doing? We good? Card 1. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so let me move that out of the way. So card number 2. Card number 2 is again going to be an A2 white card base. I love that the white card bases were in here. This time we're going to do a little inky kind of technique. I always love to do techniques or different things kind of in the cards to teach you other stuff. So you're going to grab this white that has a script on it, and it's just a gold random script. And the script, we're going to cut it 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So with this, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little resist technique because the gold foil will resist ink on that. So go ahead and cut the script, and then we'll set that to the side for a second. And then go ahead and grab your blue also. And I love this blue wood grain. I love wood grain. I love stuff like that. So this is going to be a layer underneath. So you're going to cut it 4 by 5 1/4. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And then, so what that should do is that should nest right inside of the, I'm just going to eyeball it. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so set your blue to the side. This one, we're going to do some technique. I told you to grab a blue ink pad. Any blue ink pad works. I just have weathered wood because I kind of thought it matches that wood really nice. And I'm just going to take a blending brush. And what we're going to do is pick up some ink, and you're just going to buff some ink into the center of your card. Now, and just kind of feather it out. You want to leave some white. You don't want to cover everything because you just kind of want it casting a shadow out from behind. Okay, there's our blue ink. So we're just putting some blue in the center. Then you're going to grab your water bottle, and we're going to do what we call like the spritz and flick. So you're just going to spritz some water in your hand and flick it on. And because Distress ink is a dye-based ink, wherever you flick the water, it is going to activate that ink. Then you can take a paper towel, a kitchen roll, whatever you have, dab it, and it's going to pull that ink up. Okay? It pulls the ink up and kind of gives you some fun water spots. Okay? Mine's a little wet. I'm just going to hit with heat tool really quick. Just kind of dry it a little bit. And then we're going to do one more technique. So this technique, we pull the ink off. So we basically end up with like little white water droplets. Okay? And I'm drying it that way you guys can see the difference. Once the paper dries, you can see it better. But can you see how we have white water droplets? So it has pulled that color off. Okay? So now what we want to do is add some color droplets. So we're going to take our ink pad and we're going to mush it onto our craft sheet or table or surface or whatever you work on. And we're going to add some water and we're going to pick up blue droplets. So now we have blue droplets and we are going to splat those onto your card. Okay? Blue droplets. So now you have the white droplets. Now we've got blue splat. So it gives you a really cool inky background, but two different effects. So now we have the white splats and now we have the blue splats. Using the same ink pad, just using it in two different ways. Isn't that fun? So it's great to do on cards. You could do it on scrapbook pages. You can do it on whatever you want. Okay, and I'm just kind of drying it so you can see the effect. I always flip and dry from both sides because you know the paper kind of starts to want to crinkle up and do its own thing. Okay. So now it's time to start assembling our card. I'm going to get my layers out again. And for the first one, we're going to do our blue layer. So we've got our blue down. We're going to do a 1/8 of an inch layer all the way around it. So we're going to put our little 1/8 inch spacer in. We're going to add our glue to the back of our cardstock. And I'm using liquid here because the paper's kind of warped. So I wanted a good all over coverage to kind of help hold it a little bit better. Then we're going to go all the way into our corner. Press her down. And now we're straight. And now we have our blue all the way around it, equal coverage, and she's straight. And then we're going to do an 1/16 of an inch around the outer side. Now, to make a 1/16 of an inch, they were going to break. They weren't going to be sturdy enough to go. So what we did is on here, you'll see a line on our base plate, and it's hard to see in camera. I meant to turn it black, but I forgot. It has a 1/16 of an inch. So I'm going to line up my card base at the 1/16 of an inch line and then add my adhesive to the back side. And that will give you that skinny little border. To make an acrylic piece that size, it just is not going to work. We went through quite a few prototypes. And they just, whoops, my adhesive shifted. Make sure your words are right side up. My words were going south. Did I do an 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch? No, I think I did it. I did an 1/8 of an inch. I did my measurements wrong. Go figure, Kourtney. So we've got our card bases on. Now what we're going to do is we got to grab 3 more pieces of patterned paper. You're going to grab your leaf, your birds, and our blue scrap. I was like, ooh, I lost a piece. Those 3 pieces. So go ahead and grab those 3 pieces. And we are going to cut these down. So your blue one's going to be a scrap, and your other 2 are going to be full sizes. Other 2 are going to be full sizes. So find those. And where's my trimmer? And we're going to chop these guys down. So for your strips, these are all going to be 1 1/8. 1 1/8 of an inch wide. And then there's just going to vary in lengths. The lengths don't have to be exact. We're just layering them in. So this is a great way to use up your scraps. So 1 1/8 by 4 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your blue piece is going to be 1 1/8. By 4 1/8. And your birds, let's make sure our birds are right side up, are going to be 1 1/8. By 4 7/8. So 3 varying sizes. I guess we need to pull the sample back in. I didn't want to get inky painty on it. I need to put some glue on there still. My paper's still a little wet. Okay, so we've got some fun inky backgrounds, fun inky sides. And now we're just going to layer these pieces in. So I pretty much just kind of take these guys and build them in the center. And you're going to have a little bit of gap in between them. A little bit of a gap. How are we doing on time? Okay. I think we're doing good on time. I kind of sped up a little bit. That's when I start gluing stuff down in the wrong spot, when I speed up. Then your leaves go on. And equal at the top and bottom. Little bit of gap in between. Your blue piece is next. And that is going to go right in the center of those gaps. This is a great way to use all those scraps that you end up with and you're like, what do I do with them and I can't throw them out? You just build layers. Build some layers with it. Okay, so our next piece is going to be this guy right here. I love that guy, so we're going to need him, your other gold piece, your blue butterfly, and then also, always remember. So this guy is going to get pops on the back side. And we're going to pop them up. How's everybody doing? Any questions so far? I think we're all good. I hope everybody's enjoying the crafty hours and enjoy crafting along with us. Okay. And I'm going to kind of offset him a little bit on those pieces. Oh, I forgot my doily too. I forgot my doily. I should have put that down first, but it looks like I can still poke him under there. And the doily, I'm just going to put liquid on the back side. And just kind of layer the pieces. The butterfly, I'm going to bend her wings up. So I just kind of press on the belly and bend the wings up so she has a little bit of lift. I love butterflies. I cannot get enough of butterflies. I'm obsessed. I think I buy every stamp and die out there because this one's more detailed. That one's less detailed. This one faces the left. That one faces the right. Yeah, I'm a little bit of an addict. Okay, and then this piece, I love this piece. This piece I thought would be fun to just go in here and kind of wrap it around. So it's just going to like tuck and wrap around. Isn't that fun? And then I'm just going to take my liquid glue and I'm just going to spot check it in a couple spots. I'll spot check it in a couple spots. And I'm using Nouveau glue so it dries clear. So if I happen to squirt a little bit out in an area it shouldn't have it, we're going to be okay. It dries clear. Okay, then the last thing to do is to pop our Always Remember. So you don't want to put pop dots here because it's going to be overlapping your jar. So we want to make sure to put pops on each side. What I like to do is just flip it underneath where we're going so I can kind of visually see where we're shooting for and where to put those pop dots so we don't put them on a spot that we have to then later peel them off. Because, yeah, it happens. And then I will put just a little bit, because I always like to glue my stuff down, so if a tornado comes through, she ain't moving. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid right there. And where it touches that other piece, it'll glue her flat. Okay, and there's card number 2. Card number 2. Oh, my water glass. No. My water glass. Okay, card number 2. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you. Okay, card number 3. This is the one where we're going to get a little crazy. So we're going into a little bit of an interactive. So what you're going to need to do is grab 2 card bases. Because essentially you've got a card base here and a card base there. So you need to grab 2 A2 card bases. And if your card bases are not folded very well, just kind of shift them to the edge and rescore them. I had to do that on a couple of mine. A couple of mine weren't quite glued or folded right in the center. So the first thing we need to do is we need to score this card. So what you're going to do is you're going to open it up, and we're going to do the same thing on both of them. And we're going to score it at 2 1/8. 2 1/8. And I'm just using that Dress My Craft trimmer. I love this trimmer because it has the scoring blade on there. It has the cutting blade on there. So you're just doing, basically what you're doing is you're scoring in the center. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other one. 2 1/8. 2 1/8. And then you're done with your scores. Just quick and easy. So what we're going to do is you're going to take that, and that's going to be your opener, and you're just going to fold it back on itself. Okay? So you have a mountain and then a valley. A mountain and a valley. You're going to do the same exact with the other one. Okay? You've got your valley. We're going to fold it back on itself. And now we have a mountain. Then we're going to flip it. Zoop! We're going to flip it. So essentially what they're going to do is these 2 pieces are going to go into each other. And you're going to glue these two bases to each other. These are getting glued to each other. Now, because of the crease and because of the score lines, what I'm going to do, and it's a very hair, the one on the right-hand side, I'm going to shave off just a hair. That way it doesn't interfere with this crease and it folds flat. And that's where this guillotine trimmer comes in very handy. So we're just shaving a hair off. Shaving a hair. And then that is going to get glued right to the center. Going to get glued right in the center. So you're going to put liquid adhesive all over here, or runner, or whatever you want to do, but you're going to put adhesive all over. My adhesive's a little clogged. I didn't realize it until I hit play to start the video. Okay, I'm just going to tap it down. And then now we've got our card base. So there is our base. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Okay, now we're going to cut our decorative paper. So what you're going to look for is your pink cardstock and your bigger floral cardstock. And let me find right side up. That's right side up. So pink and floral. We're going to cut it 5 3/8 by 2. And you're going to do 2 of those. So I'm going to do my 5 3/8 first. 5 3/8. I'm going to cut a 2, set her to the side, and then I'm going to cut another 2 and set her to the side. Same thing with the flowers. Now the flowers, I have my print right side up. I'm going to flip it so my print is sideways. Do it 5 3/8. Going to flip it and do 2. And then again, we're going to do 2. So the 2 pink ones are going to go on the outside, and you're going to end up with a little bit of white all the way around it, a little bit of white. So we're just going to kind of speed through gluing these on so we don't run out of time. But I think we're doing good. I think we're doing good. My tummy's growling. It says dinner time. Okay, the pink, going to do the same thing. Then we're going to open it up, and you're going to put a flower here and a flower here. And then the center, you could put a print if you wanted to, or that's where you can leave it blank and put your sentiment. And there was some great stamp sets in this set with sentiment, so you can totally stamp one of those on there. Coco, you are not abused. Okay, so there is our card. Da, 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 da. Beautiful. Okay, now we are going to build our cluster. So what I did is I built my cluster first, because if we run out of time, like I said, you can do the mechanism on the back. You're going to grab the green oval frame that has the bow at the top. I'm going to use pink because that's what I've got, pink. Then another trick that I use to build clusters. So the other one, what we did is I glued down one piece first and then worked around it. Another way I like to do clusters is, I'll show you this. This is another way I like to do them. So we're going to start with this piece. Because sometimes you might be like, I don't know if I like that, and I need to move that, or I need to do something different. So if you have the pieces glued, you can't really keep moving them around. So we're going to make it more flexible. So we're going to use all the die cuts that you have left that we pulled for this card. This one right here, you're going to chop it. I'm going to chop that flower off. And we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this part. Okay? And right now we're just going to tuck and layer. So I'm going to put that, we're just layering. You're just going to keep tucking and layering until you have something you're in love with. I think I chopped off a little too much. And then we've got a gold piece. We're going to kind of work that in there. We've got our little flower piece we're going to work in. And what we're doing is we're curving around our oval, but we don't want to cover up too much because we still want to see the shaker in there, that shaker mechanism. Yes, Carrie, she's on to me. She is on to me. So then it's going to stick this guy down in here. Everything is still movable because we haven't glued anything yet. I like how that's going. Then I just kind of hold. We're going to tuck this guy down in here. And of course, when you're trying to do it live on a video, you're all thumbs. Kind of want that piece to stand up taller. This one there. Kind of like that over there. Don't need this big part. I'm going to whack him off too. Okay, and then we want to put him over the top. I'm going to bring my green out more. So this way you can just keep playing with your layers. You keep pulling them, you keep playing with them, and nothing is glued down yet. So everything is flexible. So then what I'm going to do is I take my piece of press and seal. If you do not have press and seal, you can also use the Cricut vinyl repositioning stuff. I don't know, okay? So then we're going to flip it. And then we're going to put glue on the back side. So I'm just going to go along the frame here and put some glue. We're going to flip the whole piece back over. Transfer tape, that's the word I was thinking of in my head, but words weren't working. The Cricut transfer tape will work also. Okay, we're going to stick all those guys down. So this is a great way to see what you're doing, see what you're creating before you have everything glued down. And then, of course, as I peel this up, some of these layers are not going to have adhesive behind them because they were all on the top portion. So you will have to go underneath and add your glues because they weren't on a section that had glue on that frame. So just another kind of trick to kind of play with. But yes, the Oracle, the transfer tape, all of that will work. Like I said, not all of this is glued down because it's not touching the frame. So I'm just going to lift pieces and make sure all the pieces have a little bit of glue. That one does not. Okay. I also use the press and seal for our paste. So a lot of the stencil paste, it does not have a shelf life of forever. And every time you open the lid, you're letting air into it. And the more air that gets into it, the shorter the life you're going to have. So if you take your press and seal and kind of push it down into them, it will help extend the life of your paste, because there's nothing worse than buying all the paste and then they're hard as a rock. So kind of use that to extend the life of your paste. Okay, so we got all that done. We're going to flip this puppy over, and now we are going to put our score tape on the back side to build our shaker window. How are we doing on time? Oh, we are good on time. We are doing great. So we're going to take score tape. Now, score tape doesn't go around a circle very well. So you are just going to have to rip it and go in little pieces. And we're just going around the inner part of the frame, because you want to have score tape so your acetate is glued down flat, so your shaker bits and bobs don't fall out. And then I have that scrap piece of acetate that we had before, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I did on my first sample take an oval die, and I die cut it as an oval, and then I was like, that wasted too much time because you're not even going to see it. Okay. So then we're going to peel off our tape. And we're going to put our acetate on there. Now, there's a little bit of a trick to this, because this piece is going to go over the crease. It's going to go over another piece. So we don't want all of our Ghibli bits and stuff falling out. So what we have to do is make a fake panel, a fake piece. So grab one of the other ovals if you still have. Ooh, do we still have one? I think we still do. And if you don't, you can trace the other one, but all we're doing is tracing it. We're just tracing it. So we're going to lay this guy on here. We're just going to take a pencil, and this is the scrap. This is that scrap pink that we had before. And again, doesn't have to be beautiful. It's just a scrap. And what it's going to do is it's going to go on the back side. So you want to make sure nothing's showing. It's going to go on the back side. Now, if you want to do a different piece of paper, you could totally do that too. And after I did this, I was like, ooh, I should have done a different piece of paper. But she was already glued down. So you're going to have that little piece. We're going back to our foam strips. And for the foam strips, we need them to curve around these corners. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the backing off. Then we're going to pull that top piece. And we're going to put the foam down. And since it doesn't have the backing on it, look how nice it bends around the corners. It won't do this if you still have the backing on it. So you need to take the backing off. Then you're going to put some sequins on the inside. Again, not too many, like I just did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you don't want your sequins stuck to your foam tape like I just did. Oh, all thumbs. Anybody see my tweezers? There we go. Because now it's not going to stick down. That's the only disadvantage. Oh my gosh, we're on the struggle bus here now. Only disadvantage of peeling that back side off is you got to be a little bit careful not to get your sequins stuck in your foam tape. Okay, we're going with it. Then you're going to take your piece. You want pink on the other side. You're going to flip your pink and stick it down so that way it's going to seal your foam tape. And it looks like I didn't quite seal mine right there. So I'm just going to cut a scrap and put over that hole. Okay, now I'm sealed. So now you have your shaker inside of that little piece. And it's all contained. So now what we're going to do is you're just going to put adhesive on this side. This side on the right hand side, we're going to just put some adhesive on the back part of that shaker mechanism. And we're going to glue it down straight. That didn't start out very straight, to your card. So when you open it, you end up with the pretty on the right hand side. Okay? Right, last thing to do is add the butterfly. And your sentiment. And I like the pink frame. The pink frame's just as pretty as the other frame. And then we're going to put some pop dots on the back side of our hugs. My gosh, I have sequins flying everywhere. Okay, then the last thing I added was at the top of it, I put the sending my love, which I need to add. Let me add some glue to that because these stickers do not stick very well on their own. They need a little bit of adhesive on them. And that is going to be from the chipboard. So the Sending My Love is from this chipboard. And it was a little long, so all I did is I just took my scissors and snipped off the ends of it. Ooh, I kind of like the hang in there. That would work on there too. Anyways, you're going to snip that, and then I glued that to the top there. So that is it. That is Crafty Hour number 16. So I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you got some inspiration. I hope you got to craft along with us. And today means tomorrow will be the reveal of the next Crafty Hour. And Crafty Hour number 18 will go live tomorrow, 9 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Central on our websites. So please jump over to our websites and sign up for those. We will put the links on our Facebook pages. That way you guys can quickly and easily find them. And tomorrow's Crafty Hour, ooh, do I sneak? Do I sneaky peeky? It will be something to buzz about. Okay, that's it. That's all you get. So tune in tomorrow. So thank you everybody for joining us for Crafty Hour 16. Have a wonderful night, and hopefully we will get you everybody signed up tomorrow. Quantities, as always, are limited, so make sure to jump on the website early, and have a great night, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.